Hi, Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and just doing a quick review of the month ahead spread we did at the beginning of November, and I'm just having a quick look back to see how the month went, and linking in a couple of the daily draws, and um, and seeing how things fitted together as much as they did, whether they did or not. Just an interesting exercise just to see how, on reflection, how we feel the month ahead spread was fitting for the energies of the month. So, and of course, it may be different for each one of us. We may have different experiences. So, what may have fit for me may not fit for you, etc. And vice versa. It's so. Anyway, we'll do a quick recap of what the month ahead spread was. You can see the cards laid out in the line that we drew, and the first card, which is the shadow side, which is this deck's version of the Devil card, was number one, which was what we leave behind. So which is what we were to leave behind. All the things that didn't help us, bad habits, bad connections with people that weren't helpful to us. Anything that wasn't conducive to us growing and moving forward. We needed to break free of that. I felt that's what we needed to leave behind, and we've always got things like that can be true of that. So very simply, I think that was a timely sort of message there. So the second card was the Five of Swords. Interesting Five of Swords there. And to me, this is what we take forward. Now, this is often seen as the defeat card, the loss card. So we're taking a defeat forward, we're taking a loss forward. Well, in its literal sense, that if you use that key word and say that's what you're taking forward, but I think what it is that we're taking forward is we're taking forward the lessons we've learned from our defeats, from our losses, and particularly with communications and arguments and trying to, and I think I highlighted when we did the draw that it was about learning that we don't always have to come out on top. Maybe we've been in a communication battle of words, a battle of wits and a battle of words. And sometimes we don't want to back down. We don't want to give in. We want to come out. We want to win the argument. And sometimes winning the argument is not the prize we think it is. And sometimes we have to take, sometimes we just have to walk away from it. And the other person may think they've won, they may chalk up a win, but what is it they've actually won? We might actually have the longer term win because the fact that we've learned not to waste our energy on relationships, on communication, on things that are really, at the end of the day, are not really helpful to us. Again, tying in a little bit with the shadow side, or the Devil card, as is known. So we're taking forward that lesson and that approach that we don't always need to be seen to be right. We can have that humility to, all right, if you want to think that, I'm not going to stand here and waste not to waste our energy. And that's what we're taking forward with us. And I think looking back over the month, as far as I'm concerned, I think that I don't know about you, but I certainly felt that it's this thing of choosing our battles, or choosing our moments more carefully, be more discerning, and not always running to come and try and win the argument, or to show how knowledge or whatever. We don't necessarily always have to get involved. We can just, we can walk away from it if it's not part of our plan. It's not part of our growth. We can walk away from it, and and not get involved in it, and just say, I'm not playing this game anymore. I've got more important things to do. And I think that's the energy we were taking into the moment, and hopefully maintaining even now. And so the third card was the external focus, the outward focus. I think I got these two cards the wrong way around in their positions. This is still the outward focus, because that's what I was asking the card for at the time. But I think that it should be like that way around. I think the outward focus should be there. But I'm leaving it there for now, because that's how the way we drew it. But I think in the original spread, that's how it was. But I couldn't remember when I actually did the draw, which way around they were supposed to be. So anyway, the outward focus was about our outward relationships, which was the Three of Cups. More about that in a minute. And doing focusing on positive relationships, not the argumentative, negative relationships that may have been involved with the first two cards here. Learning that lesson and moving on to better relationships, better energy in our relationships and our emotional and spiritual connections. That's going to be and I think that really was the focus of the month for me, thinking about the connections, or lack of sometimes, or the kind and nature of how the relationships, and making sure that trying to build in positivity in those relationships, thinking of ways in which to do that. So that, to me, was very, very poignant, very appropriate through last month. And of course, then we had the fourth card, which was the strength card, which was the inner focus, what we're focusing in within. And when I'll come more to the daily draws in a moment, but I feel that the main thrust of the daily draws on the whole were to do with our inner life, the inner focus of the energy within us, because the energy that we have within us is what we bring outward to the people and the situations outside of ourselves. So we're sort of going in, and we want that strength of character. We want that resilience. We want that, also that sense of self-control, to which does tie in with the Five of Swords, in the sense of holding back sometimes and not trying too hard to win an argument, to have the wisdom to know that this is one that we don't really need to continue with. I could continue, but having the strength of character, the moderation of our nature, to hold back a little and just say, no, this is not, I've got better things to do. And having that strength of character to do that. And that has been a really, really, really big focus this month for me. I don't know whether it has for you or not, is a different matter. And the last card, the fifth card, is the King of Swords. And this is the general energy of the month. Now, I've got an observation about this, because as I come to how the daily draws played out, in a moment you'll see that really you're thinking, well, how was the King of Swords the energy of the month? Because I wondered that. But thinking about it, it was the energy, the general energy of the month, was gaining a clearer clarity. To me, this is about gaining clarity over our thoughts and our words, which ties in with this. But also, to me, the inner life, the emotions, the spiritual connections, dealing with our inner life and bringing some healing there and getting a bit calmer, more in things in a bit more harmony. That's like dispelling some of the clouds, perhaps, that have obscured our thinking, and dealing with these inner issues, etc., will bring about a greater clarity. That's the purpose for dealing with these other things here, is to bring about the clarity of thinking and communication, etc., that we need to move forward. And my experience has been that as I've worked through the month, my thoughts have started to become clearer. There's still a lot of room to go, but I can see how the clarity of mind is coming, because I'm beginning to focus on the things I need to focus on, as indicated by these cards here. So I feel that was pretty fitting. So, how did the daily draws play out and fit with this? I haven't actually, funnily enough, pulled the cards that I want to highlight. I've written them down, but I've not pulled them out of the deck. So I'll just have to tell you about them. Some facts. First of all, what was the predominant suit? I thought, what was the predominant suits? Because I said that it seemed to be we were getting a lot of cups, but I actually went through and counted how many sword cards we had, how many cups we had, how many wands, how many pentacles, and how many major cards we had. And it was interesting. And to say that the general theme of the month was supposed to be the King of Swords, but I think that was more of an end goal as a byproduct of dealing with these other things, as I've just described. The sword suit was the least pulled of suits of the month. Only 3 cards were sword cards during the month, compared to 4 pentacle cards, 5 wand cards, and 7 major cards. But predominantly, there were 11 cup cards pulled during the month. So the cups was the predominant suit during the month. But dealing with those emotions and those spiritual issues that we perhaps had in our inner life helped to bring about the clarity represented there by the King of Swords, as I just mentioned. So that was interesting. The 7 majors that we had pulled were the Chariot, which is about the control, the moderation, keeping things on track, where the Strength card comes in, I feel. So that ties in with that. We had the Wheel, the changing times, dealing with changing circumstances. The Hermit, taking that time aside to reflect, gain our inner light and guidance, which was, with that, the High Priest, or the Hierophant, dealing with our belief system, maybe getting rid of some unhelpful beliefs or traditions that don't fit with us anymore. And of course, the Strength card did come out too, so that reinforced that. Then we had the Star card, which was about the healing, the hope, the positivity, and again the light sense of direction of moving forward. And then the World card, about everything coming together, the integration, being made more whole. So that sort of fit with the general broad themes of the of this spread, and also with the energy of the month in general. So the cards that came out from this, as I say, were the Strength card that came out once. But this card, the Three of Cups, came out 3 times during the month. So that came out 3 times. So these 2 cards, and particularly this one, I feel was the particular emphasis of how we gain that clarity by being more positive in our relationships and the connections we make, and by the way that we deal with our inner energy as individuals. So there we go. Now with the Oracle cards, we had 2 cards that each came out 3 times each. We had the Elder card, which was about let's see if I can. I may have put them on top of the deck. I did. Here we go. We have the Elder card here. This came out 3 times, and it says move beyond ancestral patterns, which I think is like the High Priest or the Hierophant connection of traditions of the past, perhaps, and we move beyond those. We don't forget them. We take the lessons from them. We are thankful for what went before, but we're not to be tied to what's gone before. We are living our own and making our own traditions and our own way forward. And we can move beyond family traditions, genetics. We're not tied to all of that. We can move beyond that in our growth. So I thought that was an important card. The other card that came out was the High Priestess card here, and this was about the inner energy. It's harness mystic power. Harness that energy within us. Use our intention and our self-confidence and belief, and develop our own spiritual power and authority by forging our own path, moving beyond the ancestral patterns that have gone before us, being thankful for them and for the gift that they have given to us, but taking them and moving them forward, and often finding new ways to apply them and express them. And the one other card I pulled out, I think it came out. Did it come out, or was it? Yes, it came out on the 3rd of November. Only came out once, so I didn't highlight it. But it was the Peacekeeper, and it ties in with this 5 of Swords, which is the Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right all the time, being willing to know when to walk away from something, particularly an argument or whatever. So I think that fit with one of the themes of the month, which is why even though it only came out once, I thought it did fit in generally with the spread. So I think generally speaking, both this draw and the daily draws all fit together and gave us that general message of dealing with our inner life, moving beyond and leaving patterns and habits and things that we don't need anymore, that are not helpful to us, building positive relationships, as I say, dealing with our inner control and our spiritual strength, and that gaining them, and through that gaining the clarity of mind and communication we need as we move forward. So I feel that was a very I think that summarized the lessons that certainly I've been learning this month I don't know if you've been feeling the same, but I feel that's a very good spread. I will do one either today or tomorrow. I know we'll be on day 3 tomorrow, but it's still the first week, the month ahead for December. The same spread, and see what we get for that. But that's it for November. I hope you had a good November. I hope you had a useful November that's helped you to grow. And let's see what happens in December this month. So, thank you for listening. Take care, everybody. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Okay. Bye-bye.